All right, joining us now, head coach of College of Idaho football, Mike Moroski, joining us here today. Coach, you guys start off tomorrow, 7 o'clock, or I guess as we record this on Friday, we're going to play it Saturday, so later tonight is actually when you guys kick off. You guys look really good this year. Obviously, the strong year last year, ranked fourth in the country heading into this year. How do you guys feel going into the game, which is tonight?
Well, first games are always nerve-wracking for the coach, but aside from the coach speak, we're excited. We got a good group. We got great guys, smart guys. They understand the thing. They understand a couple of things. One, it's a brand new team, not the same team as last year. Lost some key guys, obviously, but it's great opportunity for other guys to step up. So. And it's always fun to play games. That's why you do it. I think college football is the greatest game on the face of the earth, and there's just not that many opportunities. And so I think our guys, regardless of who the opponent is, we're ready to go.
Yeah, Coach, I had mentioned to you earlier that I broadcasted for you guys. I did the play-by-play last year, so I was able to follow you. And just a phenomenal season. Can you kind of give me your thoughts on last season? I think you guys were one play away from playing in the national championship practically. Yeah, just had a great run.
But I think we got better and better. We won some really close games early in the season, had to come from behind. Then we started playing better and better, and that's one of my big things as the head coach is we should be improving, and I think we were improving defensively especially. And Andy Peters, a quarterback, and we'll talk about him some more later, I'm sure, but he was getting better. So we were finding our groove offensively, but playing better defensively. So when we got to the playoffs, first of all, I was thrilled to get in the playoffs because we did not play well our last regular season game against Southern Oregon. But Southern Oregon is a very, very good team. But we got in, had a bye, so we got to be rested up. But by then our defense was starting to play really good. And Chase Brown, our middle safety, is I think those last 3 games he was playing as good as anybody in the country. I mean, he makes a lot of tackles. He intercepted one in the quarterfinal game against Grandview that sealed the game, really. So that was the most exciting part for me, was how, as a team, we were kind of hitting on all cylinders. I mean, those teams, Montana Western was a great team, maybe the best team in the conference. So we run into them in the first round of the playoffs and played, I thought, maybe our most complete game of the year. The next week we go to Grandview and we're down 9-0 at halftime. So they completely shut us down. We held them to 3 field goals in their 3 trips into the red zone. So they were arguably dominating the game, but only up 9-0. Our coaching staff, I thought, did a great job. We adjusted. We found some things, and we hit a couple big plays and got them on the run a little bit. And then of course, Chase's big play kind of iced it. And then against Kaiser, very good team, but we really had opportunities. And I was thinking about this today as a coach. You think, man, did we screw up in the red zone or what? And but sometimes the other team's good. You still got to
make plays.
You still got to. We're running our stuff, and it's all there for the taking. And they had a couple guys that made some great plays that were very, very difficult to block. Having said that, then we still got down. We're down on the 5-yard line with time on the clock and only down by 7, and we couldn't get it in. So that's frustrating, and yet then you step back with a little perspective and think, that was amazing. That was a great run. I was really proud of our guys and the way we handled things, and it was fun to be in the national hunt kind of. So that's been our goal from the start, was to make an impact nationally, and I think we have, and we'll see how it goes this year.
Yeah, I mean, you guys come in, like I said, ranked 4th in the country in the preseason polls. You get a quarterback back in Andy Peters. Talk about how getting a guy like that back just helped you guys just as you launch into this new season, having a critical piece like that back. I know you have some new pieces on the offensive line and then back in the secondary, but having a quarterback back for this upcoming year has got to really help.
No, it's amazing. My college coach, Jim Soker was his name. So he was Chris Peterson's coach at Davis, and a lot of the guys that are still coaching and doing some great things. Mike Bellotti, who used to coach at Oregon, was a Soker guy, and but Coach Soker would always say you win with experience, and so having experience at quarterback is unbelievable in terms of advantage. And I tease Andy because we're no question to anybody anywhere that's paying attention that we're having to rebuild the offensive line. We lost 2 4-year starters. One guy that we anticipated being a starter this year is out with an ACL already. And then our starting center last year was our one transfer portal casualty. So that doesn't help. But I tease Andy and say, well, Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl with a rebuilt offensive line, so we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So he's all in. But Andy is the unrivaled leader on the team, and not that he's a campaigner, for that sort of thing. He's just got a knack for that's just kind of who he is. He's very likable. He's very active. He's very active, on campus. Last year he was a student body vice president, and he works really hard in the weight rooms such that it's noticeable to the other guys, which kind of isn't normal for a quarterback. And so he just is who he is, and he has fun. He loves to practice, loves to play, loves to prepare. So he really helps us just temperament-wise, I think, the way we approach games. And I still think he can improve. I still think he can be better, and I'm convinced that he thinks that too. So that's very important too, to make sure that you're coaching your very best players, and getting more out of them, which I think our very best players are very coachable guys. We almost can't get them out of the office, They always want to be doing something. They want to be in. They want to probably call the plays, and so he said, "Easy, Andy, easy now. We'll be fine. Just run the next play that we give you. How's that?"
Yeah, right. Yeah, looking at your guys, obviously you guys a very strong presence with guys coming from Idaho high schools. I think I counted your roster. You guys have over 70 guys from Idaho high schools playing on your roster. Obviously, it's being College of Idaho, probably important for you guys to be in the know in high school sports and get these quality players. And how have you seen kind of Idaho high school develop over the last couple years? And have you guys been able to take advantage of that?
Well, when I took the job 11 years ago, people made no bones about it that they were interested in Idaho students coming to the College of Idaho and not leaving to go to other frontier schools or somewhere else. So we try to cover the state in very, very carefully and very, very detailed, and so that's been critical for us from the early years on. We had a great tight end, Marcus Lenhart from Eagle High School, and Corey Brady from Bishop Kelly. Down to now where we have Andy, a Timberline high school guy, and just a number of guys who are excellent players from small schools and big schools in Idaho alike. It's just very, very important. That's kind of our history. It's who we are. Got 2 guys that played for us in the early years, Nate Moore and Hunter Temple from Mountain View High School, who are finishing their medical school residencies, and were great players for us. Nate Moore was a 3-time All-American, so that's still very, very important to us. So we are on top of the very best Idaho guys, and we got a bundle of them this year, so we're really excited about that. But it's not just Idaho. My job ultimately is to build the program the best I can, and I'm a competitive guy, so it's win games is what it's all about. So, but we want great guys, great people, and there's a lot of those in Idaho, that's for sure. So hats off to the coaches and programs, and so we really take that very, very seriously.
Coach, talk a little bit about recruiting and how you get these guys. And we talked a little bit. It's 1,100 student population, and the quality of football is just fantastic. And NAIA, talking about maybe a little bit the NCAA and a little bit of the uncertainty there with that, but you have to go out and you have to pitch these kids and you have to give them an opportunity of playing. And you guys are doing it better almost than anybody out there in the country. What's kind of your angle when you go in and you talk to these kids?
Well, in the olden days, which I was a part of, I mean, we would go on the road, and my first few years we went on the road, and I went to all over Idaho, went to Oregon, went to Washington, went to Northern California since I had connections down there. And really now with the way recruitment is from the student athlete side, I mean, I get 100 emails a day. So our main tactic is to get guys from wherever they're from, small school Idaho to Bay Area in California. We need to get them to campus. So, and then what I've tried to do is, yes, I want them to come to school because they like me and I sell them and they like the academics. But I think what we've been able to do is the people on campus are very supportive too, and maybe that's what you get. Well, that's what I've learned that you get for sure with an 1,100 student body, that the faculty's interested, the athletic director's very interested, and the president of the college is really interested. So we try to activate all those people, and thank God. I mean, I have just the quality of people that we have on this campus, from the faculty, the administrators, to staff, the other students. We want any kid who comes on campus to meet, between 5 and 10 of our students, to maybe go to a class, to meet with a professor, to meet with the president of the college, so they have a sense of how important they are to us, and I don't think we can offer any more money than anybody else can. In fact, I feel like we're outbid by Carroll, Rocky, Tech, and let alone the Kaisers and the Morningsides left and right. So I don't think we have more money, but I think what we've tried to do is build the campus culture in such a way that it's kind of an attractive place to come. And then you can do a lot of great things academically, be involved, having Andy and another young man, Camille Massad, from Mountain View, who's also just started medical school, was the student body president a couple years ago. So I believe in that. I think you can do it all. I think it's exciting. I think it's fun. And I think the game changer for us is Boise, Idaho, to be perfectly honest. It's a great place to be. It's a great place. Parents are excited about it. They can fly in if they're from a ways away, and even if they're from northern Idaho, they've probably been coming down here for basketball or wrestling tournaments forever. And Boise's a great place. It's a clean, accessible town, and with everything you'd ever want. So we play that up too in that respect, but also the professional opportunities after college, that it's growing, the economy's good, and guys are getting jobs. My alums are killing it. I mean, so hats off to the College of Idaho, but I think that goes a long way when a young man comes, says what's going to be, and the college pays very serious attention to this, that hey, are our students getting the professional opportunities that they want, that they're excited about? And I think the answer is yes. And so that's all very attractive to young guys. So that's me. I take a different approach. It's not just, we got the greatest uniforms, even though a lot of people like purple, and I want to be up to date there, and that would appeal to young people. I don't get involved in that because I don't care about uniforms, but I do want us to have the best equipment, significant amount of swag for the assistant coaches. But I want to do it all. I want guys who want to do it all, who want to be great students and great people. And I think that football contributes to that. So that's kind of the energy that we try to bring to that. So it's maybe not for everybody, but I think we're certainly getting our share and getting interest from some really great young men.
Yeah, Coach, I would just echo that in the sense that I now hear, because when we do some of these high school games, I talk to parents and coaches of various College of Idaho's on the radar for a lot of those same reasons that you just mentioned.
And Caldwell's changed in the last 10 years, and the hats off to the president at the time who brought back football, Marv Henberg, and then Marty Hawley was the athletic director at the time. But really it was a bigger group than that, the board of trustees. And Caldwell, 20 years ago, it wasn't anywhere near what it is today. I mean, the downtown and the former mayor, Garrett Nancola, is still a great friend, and the current mayor is doing a great job. But I think those guys thought, I think college football will help everything, which I believe in. I think that it can. I tell my guys all the time, you're going to change the world. Maybe in your 4 years here, but for sure in your lifetime. That's what I'm into it for. That's what I'm into, inspiring and exciting and doing neat stuff. And I think it's kind of, I still think we've only scratched the surface, to be honest with you, in terms of the community getting behind the team and all that. I'd love to redo the stadium someday, and I think that bothers me that hasn't been done yet. I feel like a failure in that, but I think Caldwell's getting close to being ready. I mean, so many new businesses moving out, and so that's exciting to me that football has. I don't think it's been the driving force, but it's been part of the whole picture. That Caldwell is a pretty attractive place now.
Right, and I talk all the time on broadcasts that we do through high schools and even on this show a little bit. Your guys' games are fun to go to. It's a fun ticket in town.
Yeah.
So what is, as you guys go into your game tonight, your first two games are at home. We can kind of put the schedule up here. It's too small to see, but it's in the upper right-hand corner. But yeah, first two games at home. And as you guys go on throughout that year, what games on your schedule kind of stand out to you as you look at it?
Really, to be honest, it's hard to tell who's going to be good. I know everybody's going to be good in the Frontier Conference. I'm more worried about us at this point. And really, it's the next game, So I hate to be overly cliche, but as I said, there's so few games. That's what I try to convince the guys. I mean, your career is over in the snap of the fingers. So it's just enjoy each game. So I'm kind of big in that. Be in the moment, enjoy the moment. That'll be my message to the team today. You guys are the lucky ones. You're playing. There's 5 college football games in the whole world happening. And you're one of the games, and I do think, and I'm glad you guys have seen us play and you got to commentate a little bit, because I think it's special. I think this is, it's unique. It's not like Alabama and Texas A&M, but there's something even more refreshing about it. It's great football, great athletes, great young men, working their way through college, the way a lot of us did back in the day, and it's high level football. So I don't want to negate that either. To one of the earlier questions, I'm on my staff all the time. We have to coach it better than anybody, as good as a Division I school. So we're pushing the envelope that way with creativity and evolving the offense and the defense. So I love that. I think the players love that too. We use that as a recruiting tool too, that you're going to be challenged. This is the way the big boys teach and coach and all that. I want to be the best at all that stuff.
There's Ryan peeking around the schedule here. But we just put it up on the schedule. Like you said, first two at home, then you got a couple on the road, Montana Western, Southern Oregon, Montana Tech at home, at Rocky Mountain, Arizona Christian, at Montana State Northern, Carroll, and then you guys close with the 2 Oregon schools at Eastern Oregon and Southern Oregon. How do you feel the conference is looking this year? I know you guys aren't the only ranked team in your league this year. How do you feel that your conference is looking this year?
Well, I think we played Southern last year twice too, so they clearly are trending up. and with their new coach Burke Brown, and bringing back he was with them in their heyday when they were really doing some things, and they were blowing us out of the water our first couple of years. Carroll's always really good, and I think they have designs on becoming a national power again. And now they got some money, I'll tell you that, it seems. So they refurbished their field, and so it's exciting stuff. Tech is always looks the best. I mean, they run out there. I said, who the heck are these guys? These guys look amazing. And then Montana Western, Ryan Norse. I mean, they are just a juggernaut on offense. Very difficult to stop. They are fantastic. And I know he's making some changes on defense. So those teams, and then I know and admire Tim Camp. I think Eastern will make it back, and they'll do. Somebody's going to upset somebody early on. I know Montana State Northern even is going to run the triple option, so they're going to be a little bit like Georgia Tech or Georgia Southern or something like that. I don't know if that cat's out of the bag on that or not, but that's just we know. We know the coaches they hired, so we'll certainly be ready for it. We've been paying attention to it. We don't want to get stung by that sort of thing. So there's good coaches. Rocky Mountain, haven't mentioned them. They are a very, very, very good football program and team. So again, some of those guys we don't play till the end of the year, so we don't need to worry about them right now. And we'll see. We haven't seen them on film this year. Just like we're a new team, they're all new teams as well. So we like the way the schedule sets up. Scheduled this way for sure, even though it's a little scary because we don't know what Lincoln or Simpson will be like. But we're able to concentrate on us, then have a bye, and recatch our breath, recalibrate, and get moving with Western and Southern. So it's and then it's a long stint there. So it's exciting. I think. I mean, I would have it no other way. I think those darn Midwest schools that have one or two good teams in a conference and they beat everybody 50-6. I think Anyway, but it helps us. And what I learned in the playoffs last year is there is so much variety in the Frontier Conference. I mean, just styles of offense. Now we add a triple option team to the power running teams, the spread teams, anyway. So we try to be a little bit different, but everybody's trying to be a little bit different. But it looks like I'm excited because it seems like the conference is excited, and new fields at various places, and Western has a new stadium on campus. And so I mentioned Carroll's. I thought there was somebody else who's in there too. Tech's got a great little facility. Maybe Rocky's redone there. So we're in a good spot, but it's competitive, that's for sure. Really
it's competitive to the point where it's called the SEC of the NAIA. So
yeah,
we'll take it.
And then we get beat up a little bit too. That's I think what happens is, and then you run into somebody. I think that may have happened to Tech. Tech was not limped into the playoffs, and I don't know for sure. But then they run into Dickinson State, who well rested, and they won 6 games and confidence. And Dickinson State is coming into the conference. They're a very, very good team. And then they beat Tech. So everyone's always beatable, that's for sure. So anyway, it's where
depth comes in. Yeah, well, that's where your depth comes in, right? Because then you can
absolutely
your ones and your twos up to your threes.
We were down to our. I mean, we started the game with we were down to our third center in the first quarter of the Kaiser game.
Wow.
And am I going to mention that and say that's a problem? Heck no. That's my job, is to recruit and have the depth and have a way to deal with that. So I just don't. Everybody's dealing with that across the country at every level. So you have to be able to manage that.
Yeah. I know you guys ranked 4th coming in, like we said. What is your ceiling? Can this team win a national championship this year?
I think we have some work to do. I think we have to improve in a couple different spots. Our efficiency, just series by series. I think one of our goals is we completed about just shy of 58% of our passes, great year, All-American season, but I think our offensive staff has looked at that and said, we got to be better than that. We got to complete 64, 65% to beat the very best teams. And defensively, I think we need to show that we can get people off the field. Gave up too many points, especially against the better teams, and too many long drives, and so everything's got to fit together. We have a number of things that we have to do. Special teams wise, literally, we have competitions at all the kicking spots. So if that comes together, maybe we're there. It's just so hard to win and get there, and again, that's back to the game by game. That's why tonight's game is so critically important for us to get off on the right foot, play a bunch of guys, and fly around the field. So that's kind of what we're trying to do. That's the message to the coaching staff: is how do we play free and fast, and because we put a lot of stuff in, as I mentioned earlier, so the guys can be a little paralyzed. Whereas in high school ball, some high schools, not all, just run to the ball. Well, you kind of do that, but there's a little more to it than that. You have to count on your other guys and control your gap and that sort of thing, and do your job, as the saying goes. And we're all working together on the defensive side, especially, and offense even more intricate with how things fit together. So we're still working. We've had a great camp, maybe our best ever on defense and offense, but I think there's still more work to do there, more work to do on offense, and certainly special teams too.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we're certainly looking forward to following you guys this year. We're excited for the game tonight. Ryan and I were definitely going to be keeping tabs on you guys this year. So always welcome back on the show. We really appreciate your time. I know it's definitely a busy time for you, but thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Good luck, Coach.
Good luck, Coach.
Thanks.